there I was. I was back in the airport. And so they rolled me up, they rolled me up to the terminal, and I roll up and I'm in a wheelchair, and so you know what that means? I get to skip the line. Focus on your strengths, people. And so they roll me up and they say, this is gonna be a full flight. I said, no worries. And so, they roll me down that long terminal. The plane started to fill in and, people are looking at me and then looking away. And no one wants to sit next to me. Have you ever felt like you were invisible? Have you ever felt like you weren't good enough? Look around the room. When I was a young kid, I didn't realize this whole package I had going on. I thought I was just a normal kid living life, but other people let me know that I was different. And so there was a time, I was probably in 3rd grade, and it was a hot summer day. And I remember it was hot because when I jumped off onto the field, my butt cheeks were on fire. And so, I jump out of my wheelchair, we're about to play recess, and the kids are playing kickball. So I'm like, man, I'm gonna play kickball. And I remember, here I am, every game at that age is like the World Series. So I'm freaking out, I just scored. I'm waiting for someone to pour some water on me or Gatorade. And the pitcher walks up and the catcher said something that I'll never forget. He said, how are you gonna let a cripple score on you? I'm in 3rd grade. I'm in 3rd grade, I don't even know what this word means, but I know that it's negative. I know that it had this negative connotation, and so this was my first glimpse of why me? Raise your hand if at least one time in your life you said, why me? Look around the room. It's everyone. And so for me, I'm like, I just beat you fair and square, I don't even have legs and I beat you. Like, why are you calling me these names? I don't get it. Why me? As I got into middle school and high school, I was still at this low point in my life, this victim mentality. I was still asking myself, why do I have to be born like this? Why do I have to be born with no legs and one arm? Why do the kids have to make fun of me? Why do I have to go through these challenges? So I asked myself, Nick, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do to get yourself out of this hole? And so sophomore year came around and my older brother was a wrestler. All my best friends were wrestlers, and I just thought wrestlers were the coolest thing in the world. I always looked up to wrestlers, and so, I thought about it. And I came into school one day, and my friends were like, Nick, you always tell people to try new things, get out of your comfort zone. Why don't you try wrestling? And I said, I can't, my arm. And what I mean by that is this arm, let me pull this guy, it looks like a potato. We call it the potato now, it used to look like a chicken wing. And so basically, this arm was about 5 inches longer than it is now. And my bone was growing faster than my skin. If I would have hit my arm hard enough, my bone would have came through my skin. And so I was thinking of a way how I could become a wrestler. And so I was like, all right, I'm gonna figure this out. And so I came home one day, I'm sure my mom remembers this very clearly. I waited for both my parents to come home and I sat them down and I said, Mom and Dad, I wanna be a wrestler. My mom was like, oh no, Nick. God forbid, wrestling's the most physical sport. What are you gonna do if your bone comes through your skin? What are you gonna do then? I looked at them and I said, can we cut it off? They said, first off, Nick, the right word is amputate. You're so aggressive with your words. I said, all right, I'll use your vocabulary. Can we amputate my arm? And my sophomore year, my parents went ahead and scheduled the appointment for me to amputate my arm. My parents didn't give me everything. They put my clothes in front of me and said, Nick, figure it out. In the most polite way. Or they put the food in front of me and they said, Nick, figure it out. I wasn't coddled. The biggest advantage I had by my parents raising me that way is my parents helped me exercise the muscle of falling on my face and getting back up.